So Henry Pryor, as you know, playing Virizion Genesect, the laser version with the Oxus, and Brian Kondor. I have no idea what he's playing, but we'll see soon enough. He has a Steins Gate mat. I didn't know they made those. It's a pretty good show if you ever watch that. See a floatstone. Doesn't sell much. Still can't really see what he's playing from him shuffling. I think I may have saw a grass. Oh, no. His hand's blocking the view. I can't see anything. Alright, so here they draw. Round 7, part 2. Retrying it. Henry is going first. It's always what you want with Verizion. And he laid down a Verbank just so his opponent would lay down his cards and then he mulligans. And apparently Thoy has a problem with him laying down a fake basic. And we're having even more time taken. From what I can see on Brian's hand, it looks like Virizion Genesect also. He does. I see a Super Rod, Tool Scrapper, Shadow Triad, and a Skyla. And I'm pretty sure Henry just wants to play by now. He's taken so much like unnecessary time. And yeah, he's coming back now. It is Anthony though, so it's a little bit slower. All right, let's see. I think he's pulling up the compiendum or something. And the head judge is now coming over to see what's going on. Are we ever going to get a game in? Oh, he has the penalty clipboard. What is going to be the penalty? Brian didn't do anything. It was Henry. Henry laid down a Verbank as his basic, and it forced Brian to like play down his cards, and then he showed he had a mulligan. So, I'm not really sure. Might just be a warning. I don't really see him writing anything down. It's definitely been a lot of like judge interference in the past 30 minutes. And remember how I said the round was gonna end at 8:08? Well, it's 7:40 and they're just about to start. So that means the round will technically end at 8:30. And there's another mulligan from Henry. Um, I guess the only reasoning behind like what Henry did is sometimes you don't want to mulligan and show your opponent what you're playing before they lay down a basic because they could choose a different basic to lay down. Um, it's really only uh, like the only like reason you would do such a thing. And yeah, I don't think they gave any penalty or anything. I think it was just a warning. Might have been like unsportsmanlike conduct or something. I'm not really sure. And there's another mulligan. How many is that now? I think it's five, close to that at least. And he finally has a basic. Let's see how many he draws. One, two, three, four, five, six. I can't really speak up that much just because how close I am to the match. I am talking my like usual voice though. So if Henry doesn't have an N in his hand to start his turn, it's definitely gonna hurt him with the amount of cards Brian has in his hand. Let's see if they actually start sometime. All right. Um, I don't know what they're waiting for, but they're waiting for something. It has been a long day, and it just keeps getting longer, I must say. I'm definitely gonna try to do a bunch of deck profiles today or tomorrow. I'm not sure how many players are gonna be willing to, just because it's the first regionals, and there's still four more to go. But hopefully we can get some in. I want to try to do interviews and hopefully just do stuff. I don't know why they're still waiting. I honestly don't know. Ugh. There is day two of Swiss. That's what these players are playing for. Um, the other match with Robbie and his opponent, who I do not know, has been underway, I believe. I would hope so. Uh, all these players are 4-1-1, I believe. Let's see what's going on. I really don't know at all. Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna just go over and ask and see. I'm gonna try to get some answers. I'll be back. All right, guys. So the official word is game loss for Henry Pryor. Brian is now up 1-0. Apparently, baiting your opponent by playing down a Burbank as a basic is a game loss. So watch out for that. All right, so it does look like it's mirror match, and with that game loss, it puts Brian up. Henry still does get to go first with like almost a mirror start. He Skylas for an N, and then most likely he's just gonna pass, maybe play a laser because it's one of the few times you can actually play laser and not have it be negated by Verizion's ability. The other matches are starting to finish up. A few people are done, but all right, we see a Verbank from Brian, and then an N with an energy. They still get the full time. All right, so let's see what he gets. Oh, so he actually is playing Virizion Mewtwo, from what it looks like. There's the Boufflant, there's a Mewtwo. I would expect these E's, but there is uh, Plasma Energy too, so maybe it's just a hybrid of both of the decks. And with like this whole like controversy and stuff, it does mean like it's another hour added onto the event essentially. And we see the Ultra Ball from Henry getting the Genesect, most likely going to attach an energy if he has one. It might be a lesser penalty, but like uh, with it being a regionals, it's a tier 2 event, and it might be harsher than if it would happen at a cities or an league challenge. I knew it was like bad to do it, but I didn't think it was like game loss bad. I thought it was just slap on the wrist bad. All right, so Henry does get the energy, and then Emerald slashes 2 energy on Genesect. And it is now Brian's turn. He attaches for a turn and plays a Skyla, maybe to get an Ultra Ball. And he's going to play the Ultra Ball to get Genesect. I think I saw Lugia in his deck too. That'd be crazy if he plays Lugia and Mewtwo. I did see a second Boufflant, so that's definitely something to look out for. And I've seen a lot of players like Skyla for the Ultra Ball and the Pokemon. Um, which I don't know, like to me it's just asking like to like forget to discard and then just mess up and it'd ruin the whole game. But maybe I'm just a little bit slow and can't like handle two things at once, I guess. So he does get that 2 energy onto Genesect. He does have a plasma energy in hand, or he might have discarded it with the Ultra Ball. I think he actually discarded it with the Ultra Ball. See a plasma energy on the Boufflant on Henry's side, and then a bike for 4. And then a double laser to waste it, and a Skyla most likely getting, okay, supporter wants to be ready for next turn. And then he's just going to Emerald Slash, get 2 energy on the Boufflant. Not really what you want to see. Energy switches would have been good here. Um, but it's definitely nothing too shabby. Brian does have a small hand and he doesn't know if he has a supporter or not. And he plays a Skyla. So he is going to get a Juniper with his Skyla. And then he's going to Emerald Slash and attach it to his Mewtwo or his Bouffalant. I would think you would want to go for the Mewtwo here. Bouffalant is good, but Mewtwo's better against opposing Bouffalants and against Genesect. But he opts to go to the Bouffalant route. Alright. Henry does get the other Genesect and brings up the Bouffalant by retreating. And he will take the first prizes of the game, knocking out the Virizion. Alright, sorry about that. So we saw the Bouffalant knocking out the Virizion that had 100 damage on it, and it prompted Brian to bring up the Bouffalant, but it has the Float Stone, so he has options. Does have another Genesect in play, and he opts to attach to the Bouffalant. Like, see, this is where if he would have attached the energy to the Mewtwo, he could have attached that third energy to the Mewtwo, and then would have been able to knock out the Bouffalant this turn. But since he opted for the Bouffalant, it only did 40, and it's in being threatened to be knocked out by Genesect. Alright, so we see energy switch, attaches G Booster, and then plays an N. Alright, so Henry's going to be drawing 4 off this N, and Brian's going to be drawing 6. It's definitely not what you want to see, but it was probably Henry's only supporter. But he did get the Plasma Energy, so he's going to bring up the Genesect with 3 energy, I believe. Yes. And he's going to be able to G-Booster this turn. Thanks to the Floatstone on the Boufflant, he can retreat for free, G-Booster, and he'll be left with 2 energies on that Genesect, being able to attack next turn. It will probably take 120 from this Boufflant, but then you can actually just kill the Boufflant next turn with another G booster, sacrificing the Genesect, and then he would have his Boufflant and another Genesect almost ready to go. So we do see another N. Puts Henry down to 2, and Brian down to 6 still. And he all he needs is a plasma energy, and he'll be able to red signal and knock out one of the X's on Brian's bench and win the game. And they would move to game 3 because of the game loss that was applied after Henry baited his opponent with the Burbank City Gym. All right, and then we see the 120. Does he have the Shadow Triad or Plasma Energy to be able to win? Find out soon enough. He is looking at his discard. That's another N, so he's going to try to draw it off this end of 2. And he didn't have any energy either. I mean, well, I guess he's hoping for the Plasma Energy, so he didn't want to attach any energy. Oh, draw both. Does not look like he has it. He retreats. No, he opts to energy switch. And then he's gonna G-Booster to take out the Boufflant. That will leave Brian with only 1 energy on the field, and that 1 energy is on the Genesect. He could energy switch to the Virizion and attach, and then be able to Emerald Slash to knock out the Genesect and charge up his other guys. Depends if he has it or not. He does Skyla. Okay, there's the energy switch. He attaches Plasma to the Virizion, energy switch to the Virizion, and he will knock out this Genesect and try to make this 6-1 comeback. All right, so Henry does have an energy for that Boufflant. So he's going to be doing 120 this Virizion. I think Brian failed the search for grass energy. If he did, I'm pretty sure that's game. Yeah, he did. Not having any grass energy means that he just can't have another attacker charged up, so his only attacker right now against Boufflant is Virizion, and Virizion's just gonna die next turn. If he played double colorless, he could actually attach double colorless to me to retreat and knock out the Boufflant, leaving Henry in a bad spot. But I don't think he does. It's not looking like it. All right. Uh, just playing laser, get out of his hand, and then end. I don't really, if he does play DCE, he definitely needs one now. He gets 4, but I don't think he plays DCE from the looks of it, and that is technically game 2. Uh, not technically, that was game 1. They are off to game 3 now because of the game loss. It is tied 1-1. And I still keep questioning why Brian didn't charge up the Mewtwo instead of the Bouffalant. It might not have mattered that much, but it would have helped him save at least his Virizion. Or not his Virizion, his Genesect. Yes, Henry got a game loss for uh, baiting his opponent with Burbank City Gym as a basic when he had a mulligan, just to have his opponent play down his Pokemon. And it turned into a game loss after about 30 to 40 minutes of deliberation by the head judge. All right, so Henry is all set up, unless he has another Burbank down as his basic, but we will see. All right, game 3 starts. Henry starts Virizion, Genesect, Deoxys, and Brian has Genesect active with the Mime. And he Ultra Balled, most likely gonna get Virizion. You kind of need that guy. And I'm guessing he's gonna also attach to the Virizion too. It's definitely the best option. You never want to attach to Genesect turn 1, just with the chances of drawing switch or anything. And he actually has a switch. So he switch and then N. Nothing more you can ask for a turn 1 hand when you're playing Virizion Genesect. Alright, he gets Verbank and Laser. The Virizion is poisoned and asleep. That 30 damage actually means something because after 1 Emerald Slash, the Virizion can be knocked out with a Megalo Cannon, but the poison and sleep get washed away by Verizion's ability, attaches a grass, gets rid of all of it. Henry burns a laser, knows it's useless in this matchup. And it just passes. He didn't have a supporter. That is really harsh. So Brian attaches a grass and plays an N. I'm not sure if I would have actually played the N. I didn't really see Brian's hand, but when your opponent just attaches passes, it's definitely a warning sign. He could have been like Andy K was earlier on in the stream where he baited his opponent with just attach pass and he actually had a really good hand. His opponent junipered away the rest, all of his stuff, Could have been like that. Henry did have like 6 cards in hand, but it gave Henry a new fresh start. And he attaches to the Genesect with the Emerald Slash. And to everyone else that's not this match, time has been called. Um, we still have a lot more time with this match, so it should be perfectly fine. All right, so we see the Emerald Slash from Henry attaching to his Genesect. And we see Brian attach the grass to the Genesect. Skyla could be getting supporter, could be getting. Oh, he's getting G Booster. I'm not sure if I like that very much. Unless he has like the colorless machine in his hand. G Boostering right now would be pretty bad. Wait, I think I saw a plasma energy in his hand, did I? No. It would have been a pretty big misplay if he had one in his hand. Oh, he got one from the prizes. I'm not sure. Yeah, it was a laser, not a plasma energy, I believe. But yeah, attacking with G-Booster like that to kill the Virizion, it opens up your Genesect into getting G-Boostered, and you can't even attack next turn if he doesn't hit like everything he needs. I do see the grass and yeah, he has a Skyline hand next turn for the Chorus Machine. It's just a G-Booster battle. You'd rather lose a Virizion than a Genesect. There's the laser. And he did have an energy to attach to the Virizion, so he's charging up his Genesect that he drew. Or he already had it, yeah. Uh, so the one thing that killing the Virizion did was it made it so there's no uh, like ability to stop status conditions. So laser actually does something right now, and it put that Genesect in range to be killed with just the Megalo Cannon. All right, and he stayed asleep too. So he played an N. He's gonna be ending both players to 4. He needs to draw Chorus Machine, Grass Energy, and Verizion to even do anything this turn. It does not look like he got it though. All he can really do is attach to the Genesect on the bench and pass. That means he'll take the 30 again. He'd be at 110. And then Brian would actually just be able to knock out the Genesect with Emerald Slash with the help of Poison, charging up another Genesect, and Brian would almost surely have this game. I I think Thoy was saying can't actually play laser there, but he was junipering, so it honestly did not matter. Henry did wake up, so that's that thing, but he's gonna be knocked out going into his turn because of poison. All right, so there we see one energy attached to the Genesect on the bench. Henry attaches to his active, and he has a Shadow Triad and a Juniper. If he has a Colorless Machine in his discard, he could Shadow Triad for the Colorless Machine and actually attack this turn, but I don't think he does. He does draw one off the Juniper. So he will be able to attack this turn at least, but he's staring down a fully powered Genesect on the bench, and his attack's not even going to knock out this Virizion. And even the worst part is, with him not knocking out the Virizion, Mr. Mime is on the bench. It's one card we haven't actually seen that much today, but Mr. Mime is really good against Genesect. It's really good against Darkrai. And that Verizion's going to have 20 left, but once he retreats to the bench, he can't get a free cheap knockout with Megalo Cannon. And that's a problem. Alright, so Brian almost, like for sure, would be retreating this Virizion this turn. See a Plasma Energy on the Genesect, but he's not opting to Red Signal. Oh, he is. He's bringing up the Deoxys. So, is that another N? And both players will go to 4. He hits the switch, but I honestly probably would have saved it. That Virizion isn't really going to be coming active anytime soon. Did he knock something out? I'm not really sure. Are you guys sure that he uh, knocked out 2 guys? Alright, I'll be right back. All right, so I eventually caught it, but I'm not. I hope it's in time. Oh God, this has been too much going on for the past 2 hours or hour and 30 minutes so far. Uh, yeah, I think we're gonna see two game losses in one match. So what happened was Brian forgot to take his two prizes, and so what happened was Brian forgot to take his two prizes. It was after the Virizion Emerald Slash and Laser killed the Genesect, and then uh, Henry's turn passed. Then Brian played. He played an N, drew four, played two cards, and then uh, Henry's turn went, and Henry played an N, and that's when I was able to stop it. I really hope this doesn't end in a game loss and they're able to rewind it. Yeah. So, there's just so much stuff going on. This is this is definitely it's definitely not the ideal situation to watch. All right, so what it looks like is they were able to reverse it. He only drew two cards off of the N, but I'm not sure if there is going to be any sort of prize penalty, which would be huge right now. I did ask uh, Brian if he remembered his hand, and he said he did, and I think Thoy might have agreed with him. So that might have been part of it, but I'm not really sure how much of it went on. Like, I mean, we did see they reversed the game state. He took the switch back and has the Virizion active again. He only has two cards from an N, and he shuffled in the prizes that he would have shuffled in with the N. All right, so what happened? The whole thing. Henry baited his opponent into playing his basics with fake basic with like it was an actual Verbank, and then showed the mulligan, and it ended up being a game loss. Henry was down 1-0. Game two, Henry um, pretty much handles the mirror match. Brian makes a few questionable plays, and Henry wins. Okay, game three, they're playing. Brian has the upper hand. Henry is more or less like in top deck mode. He does get a Genesect charged up, but uh, um, Brian kills a Genesect second EX, and oh, I think they're just making it a game loss. Or I don't know what's going on. Um, Thoy has been the judge watching the match, and AJ from Ohio, I think AJ Shoemaker or Schumacher, he's the head judge of the entire event. I think is he's actually a really good judge. I've heard great things about him, and I think it's just fatigue has been getting to a lot of us right now. Um, I think I may have heard like a double game loss. I may have heard like just one game loss, but they did reverse it, so I'm not really sure. They are talking over it and trying to see. Okay, they're coming back to the table now. They're gonna hand out their verdict. I'm not really sure what it's gonna be. I mean, they were able to reverse it, um, but that's not really sure. Okay, so what the ruling is uh, I'm pretty sure it's a double game loss, which ends it in a tie. So the match will actually end in a tie. Because if you think about it, they're both 1-1. Double game loss means it's 2-2. And there's no other option but to call it a tie. Or, wait, never mind. It's a prize penalty for both people? Or, oh no, it is a tie. Alright. All right. So, um, we didn't finish that late, but double game loss into a tie can do that to you. That would be pretty funny if it was the most elaborate ID to troll toy. But this match is finally over. I can go walk around, go to the bathroom. All right, so I'm actually kind of wrong. It was actually just a prize penalty for both players, so it would have put it at 1-3, and it would have just been like draw pass a lot. So Henry and Brian decided to tie. So they did just go with the intentional draw.